Yeah.
Hey, welcome. So I have a new machine that I wanted to show everybody. Okay, so this is a binary counter. What is it? It is a machine that counts, and in this case, it's going to count how many times I push this white button right here. First, I'm going to do a crash course on binary. So follow me and we'll Alright, this is for anyone who doesn't know how binary works, and hopefully this will help us understand a little bit better what my machine does. So first, if we look at counting in our familiar number system called base 10, it's called base 10 because we have 10 different numerals or symbols to represent all the numbers, 0 through 9 basically. Once we count above 9, we need another digit. So adding and counting are really similar, so what we'll do is we'll use these math equations right here to illustrate the point. So here I have 2 plus 3 equals 5, and I'm representing 5, actually 6 numbers if you count 0, all with a single digit, that's 5. So this is why I have these light boxes right here. The first box is on, and the second box is off. I don't need the second light because I don't need this other digit. I can get 6 numbers, 0 through 5, all with this one digit. So once I reach 10, I've actually counted 11, again counting 0, which means we need a second digit. That's this yellow one. So notice in the first column, this one here, what we've actually done is reverted back to 0. It went from 0 to 9 back to 0, and then we added a 1 over here in this column. And so this is why both these lights are on, because I need both of these digits. And if we counted higher, we could go as far as 19 before this yellow 1 changes to a 2. So notice that this is going to change a lot more than this one. And then I can get to 99 before I need a third digit, which would be the 100 over here. I count to 99, which is actually 100 numbers, again including 0. And once we get to 100, I'll add a 1 here and go across. That's the idea of counting in base 10. So I hope this helps us understand binary. Okay, so what does it mean? Why is binary so hard? So binary is hard because we only have 2 numerals or symbols, and it's just 0 and 1. I can really only count to 1, or if I include 0, I can count to. If I don't include 0, I can count to 2. If I skip that one and count 1, 2. So actually it would be 1 would be off, and then 2 would be on. That would be how you could count. But you can only count 2 ideas or 2 symbols here. Alright, so how do I do more? Well, I need more digits, just like with our base 10. So here I've got 3. So if I start on this right side, I'd have 0, then I'd have 1, and then when I get to 2, I actually need to turn this one off and then turn that one on. That's 2, so it's actually 0, 1. Okay, but that's a 0, 1 in binary means 2. So then we go to 3, I push that one back on, now I have 3. So 4 is going to turn this one on and both of these off. So again, this one's changing faster than this one, which is changing faster than this one. So now I've got 4, I can go 5 and do that. And then to do 6, I have to go flip that off and that one on. And then 7 would be on. And then 8, I would add a new one, and all these would go off. Okay, so in order to count with binary, we need a lot more digits. Think back to the base 10 number system in the background there. You can see that? We can get to 10 before we have to add a new digit. We still flip these digits that way in order to count. But I want to make a machine where I don't have to push all these buttons individually. I want it to automatically do it. I want it to push these buttons Again, just with one button push. So we want a way to tell the game that the first light box, this one, is on, which would represent a state of 1 instead of a state of 0. That way the game knows that this is different from that. So on is different from off. If we have a state of 1 and I want to push the button again to count, I want the machine to automatically turn this one off and then this one on. So this is a concept of states and a chain of connected events. And so how can we do this in Dragon Quest Builders? Well, we can do it with these sluice gates and water and the water wheels. Well, I'll show you that. Another older video also covered some of the basics of how the water wheels work, which was also covered by a video by Ben XC, who I want to give credit to for a lot of these inspiration for some of this working ideas. So anyway, 2 sluice gates side by side, and you can activate them with one activator button, like this, and they switch. So I can arbitrarily call one of these 2 situations a state, and then water will flow through them, and the water can actually move a water wheel, which is what this setup does. So we'll just arbitrarily call this left side open and the right side closed. We'll call that 0, and then we'll sort of call this 1, but we actually need one more gate, and I'll show you that. So let's go to this. Right now I've actually got both those lights on, if you notice. Let's go, make sure you know which lights I'm talking about. I'm talking about these 2 lights right here. So this little machine can count to 0, 1, 2, 3. Actually, 4 would reset all of them to 0. So it can really count to 3. Plus it has a 0. So we're going to start, it's right now, both those lights are on. We're going to go to 0 by pushing this button. So both of the wheels turn, and they will hit a series of switches, and I will walk through them a little bit. Aha, alright. And now they're both off. And now we got, look at, remember I said the left gate from this vantage point, the left gate open, the right gate closed represents 0. That's what we have here. That's how I set this up to work. So the left one is open, the right one's closed, that's 0. We need this third gate right here in order to help with that sort of stepping chain, in order to chain one next to the other, to add these up to get higher than counting to 2 to 3 to 4 and higher. You need to be able to chain them together, and this gate actually helps us do that. So how does it do that? Well, let's hit this button one time. If I press the button one time, if I press this button now, it will switch this gate off or closed, and it's not going to affect that blue wheel. And this gate will open, and so it's going to turn that red wheel. So let's watch. Aha, bottom fills up. And now it's going to hit just that red square activator button. It does not reach this red arrow switch. But look how many buttons it hits as well. So it hits these 2 red ones. It hits, which this arrow, this middle arrow to the left, goes over and hits this arrow, which hits the square activator. And I need that square activator because I want this red wheel to turn off. I want the red wheel to turn off because I only want it to push it one time, but I also need it to flip this gate right here open to enable the blue wheel to go. So next time, the blue wheel is going to turn on. And that's why I need both of those buttons there. And then this one controls the light, controls this one light switch. So the red wheel just controls this right light switch. So I've pressed it now one time. We have 1 right here. So that's the count. Binary counts 1. Let's go back. So now look at this. Both of these gates are closed. So when I press this, they'll both come on. Now I need both of them to come on here because I need the red one to cycle every time. Remember, the far right digit, the smallest digit, that's going to flip more. So this blue gate doesn't do as many things. All I need the blue gate to do is flip this this light right here in this case. So now I did 0, 1, 2. So now I have a binary 2, which is 0 on the right, 1 on the left. That's binary 2. And now I can go one more time. Notice that state was the left gate was open, the right gate was closed. That's how it was a second ago. That's in relation to that far right light that just came on. And so now we have 3. So that's the idea. So you can chain these together and we can get a big one going. Okay, while I'm waiting for it to become nighttime, I'm going to show you all how these are all chained together. So when I press the first button, that's actually up here. I did this so we could watch the whole thing. So this white actuator is going to hit, well, that button, that down white arrow, and down white arrow there. This white arrow, actually this is the white arrow that follows around this way. So notice the white, and that's going to press, I have actuator inside the blocks there, which is what that one presses. It's an up arrow, and here I'll show you. There you go, there's an up arrow there, and let's just put those back. Alright, and that presses that white button for the first time. Okay, so the way that these are all chained together is with the blue wheels. The blue wheels trigger the next press of the binary counter. So when I press that white button for the first time, it's going to trigger this red wheel. When I hit it the next time, it'll trigger this blue wheel, and the blue wheel is going to come over here, and it's going to press that red wheel. That red wheel is going to be actuated. So every time the blue wheel gets hit, every time a blue wheel is actuated, it's going to enable the next blue wheel. But if you notice, it will take me 2 presses of the white button to actuate that blue wheel. So when I actuate that blue wheel, it takes 2 presses, and I'll need to press it 2 more times to actuate it the next time. So that's going to take me 4 total presses of the button before I can actuate this second blue wheel. So notice now when I actuate this blue wheel, I have these blue actuators go this way, and notice where this blue one goes here. This blue one here goes to a down arrow. So now I have an underground chain of actuators, and they go over here. This dark green square, this is my path. This goes all the way underground. These dark green squares are my markers. It goes under here so that I can go to this third chain. The third chain, don't worry about these. Don't worry about these. They go to other stuff. So this third chain now it will actuate. So after 4 presses of the button, that blue wheel in the far right background, that will actuate this red wheel. Now it's going to take 2 more presses. It's going to take me so now it will take 1, 2, so it'll take 2 presses of the first blue wheel, 2 more presses for the next blue wheel. Now it'll take me 4 total presses before I can actuate this blue wheel. So it's taken me 4 to press to actuate this red wheel, and it'll take 4 more to actuate this blue wheel. So that's 8 total presses. Now that blue wheel actuates this one, but it just actuates the red wheel, and the red wheel only enables the blue wheel. So now I've pressed that button 8 times, and I'll need to press it 8 more times to actuate this blue wheel, and this blue wheel comes back around to actuate this last bit or digit. But remember, at this point all of these are going to be off. So I've now pressed 16 times to get to here, which that's binary 16. I'll need to press it 16 more times to get all these lit up and then back off to get to 32. So that's how those add up. It adds up by a power of 2. If that makes sense. So now we'll cut to nighttime because you can see the lights better. And we'll... Alright, now that the sun is going down, we are going to start pressing buttons. Let's start our count. We're at 0. If I press this one time, here we go. We're getting started. One. Here we go. So this is the downfall to the mechanics in Dragon Quest Builders. It's that this clock cycle, the maximum speed at which I can press this button is about 10 seconds, because that's how long it takes the first water wheel to actuate a square button. That would be something I would love to see in an update if they could change it, although they don't do the type of updates for that kind of quality of life, I don't think. That would be phenomenal. So, but here we go, we're counting to 3. This is our 4th press, but it's not yet reached all the way through. But if you look over on the right, you can see that the blue wheel was primed and ready to go. And now it should go to 4. And that's going to actually enable that blue one over there. Watch the gate. Aha. After the red wheel goes there. But I can press this again to speed it up. So now it counts 4. It's going to be 5. There we go. This one will be fun. Watch this one. We're going to get all 4 blue wheels turning once. And look, finally, the blue wheel in the back is turning. That's what we wanted. And we are at 16. Alright, now we have all 4 white lights on, red light off. Count is 30. This is 32. Notice the gates, all of the rear gates, the ones closest to the white button, they're all down. And all of the back gates close to the blue wheel, they're all up. They're all ready to go. So now we get to 32. And all I would have to do to count higher than this would be add more bits on the end. And of course add a new chain new state box or machine of 2 water wheels. Now we watch as all those lights turn off. Yay, it worked. It worked. And everything's back to the original state of left gate open, right gate closed. That means 0. The gate close to the water wheel to enable the blue water wheel to go is all closed, which means it's correct. There we have it. That's the binary counter.